Welcome to your favorite channel, where you'll learn everything you need to know to improve your health and lifestyle. Let's get started.
You've probably heard all about gratitude journals, right? Counting your blessings. But what if I told you there's a powerful scientific truth behind the whole gratitude mindset that most of us are completely missing? We're not just talking about feeling good, we're talking about actually rewiring your physical health. And the science behind it? Well, it's gonna surprise you. So let's just dive right in with a pretty bold question. Is that daily list of things you're thankful for actually doing anything? The answer from neuroscience might actually shock you. It's a big maybe not. Yeah, it turns out the way most of us think we're supposed to practice gratitude might be completely ineffective. But before we get into why your journal might be falling flat, let's talk about what's actually at stake here. I mean, why should you even care? Because the science is crystal clear. When you do gratitude the right way, it delivers some incredible, tangible health benefits that go way, way beyond just a warm, fuzzy feeling. I mean, look at this. Study after study shows that people with a regular, effective gratitude practice report a whole laundry list of benefits. We're talking about sleeping better, lowering blood pressure, less stress, less anxiety. It basically seems to put your whole body into a state of calm, firing up what's known as the rest and digest system. Okay, but people saying they feel better is one thing. Can we actually measure this stuff? Can we see these changes in our biology? Is there cold, hard, objective proof that changing your mindset can change your physical health? Well, the answer from the research is a huge, resounding yes. To get that proof, scientists look at something called inflammatory biomarkers. The easiest way to think of these is like tiny little red flags popping up in your bloodstream. When we're stressed out all the time, the levels of these chemicals go up, and high levels are directly linked to some really serious stuff, especially heart disease. And wow, check out this study. It shows the effect in black and white. Researchers took patients with heart failure and split them up. The group on the bottom row just got their usual treatment. And look, their inflammation levels, they barely budged. But the top row, that was the gratitude journaling group. They went from a positive inflammation score, which is bad, to a negative score. They didn't just stop the inflammation, they actually started to reverse it. That's incredible. Okay, so we've just seen that gratitude journaling can have seriously powerful physical effects. But here comes the twist, the paradox. The real power isn't coming from where we've all been told to look. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman really puts it bluntly. He says that the most common way people do this, just making a list of things like my coffee, my dog, the nice weather, it doesn't actually move the needle in the brain. It doesn't trigger the deep neurological changes that give us those health benefits we just saw. And this, right here, is the absolute key. The real power doesn't come from the column on the left, from giving thanks, just listing stuff. The profound biological benefits come from the experience on the right, receiving thanks. It's that powerful, emotional gut punch of feeling truly appreciated that makes all the difference. So that kind of begs the question, right? How can we create that powerful feeling of receiving thanks on demand? We can't just wait around for people to thank us. The answer, it turns out, is hiding in something our brains are absolutely amazing at: telling stories. See, our brains have this incredible tool called theory of mind. It's basically our built-in empathy engine. It's what lets us imagine what someone else is feeling. So, when we use a story to vividly remember a time we were genuinely thanked, we're not just remembering a fact. We are using theory of mind to fully reactivate the emotional state of receiving that gratitude. That's the hack. That's how we flip the right switches in our brain. And when you do this, you light up what neuroscientists call the pro-social brain circuit. And this isn't just some vague idea. You are specifically activating parts of your brain that give your life meaning. You're triggering a release of serotonin, that's the feel-good chemical, and you are literally telling the parts of your brain that handle fear and anxiety to just quiet down for a minute. And here's the proof in our own bodies, happening in real time. This chart shows heart rate variability, or HRV. Basically, a higher HRV means your nervous system is more calm and resilient. So look at the bar on the left. The gratitude group's HRV went up while they were doing this. Their bodies were literally becoming calmer. Now, look at the control group on the right. Their HRV went down. The task actually made them more stressed. The difference is just wild. So all this science is awesome, but what do you actually do with it? How do we put this into practice? Let's break down a super simple but incredibly powerful protocol you can start using like today. Okay, here's how you do it. Step 1, find a story, not a list, a story, a specific memory of when someone genuinely thanked you and you really felt it. Step 2, write down just a few bullet points, like a movie trailer for the memory. Step 3, take a few minutes, read those cues, and let yourself truly relive the feeling of that moment. That's the whole thing, and you only need to do it 3 times a week. And honestly, this might be the most incredible part. The time commitment is tiny. The research shows that you can trigger these profound biological shifts, quieting your fear circuits, lowering those inflammatory markers, in sessions that last as little as 1 to 5 minutes. I mean, that's a ridiculous return on investment for your health. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that gratitude isn't just some soft, fluffy emotion. When you practice it the right way, it's a trainable skill with direct, measurable physical consequences. Your mind is an absolutely powerful tool for shaping your own biology. We've walked through the science, we've seen the evidence. Shifting from a simple list to a deeply felt emotional narrative can directly change your body's chemistry. You can literally change your biology by changing your internal story. You can reduce inflammation and calm your nervous system, all on demand. And that kind of leaves us with one final big thought. We now know for a fact that a short, focused story can have a more powerful biological effect than we ever imagined. So the real question is, if this is true for gratitude, what other parts of your internal world, your mindsets, your perspectives, are just waiting for you to redesign them for your own health?
Here are some tips to help you have a healthy and strong body and mind. Remember that we upload videos every day.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that goes way beyond just living longer. We're diving into a total shift in focus, not just about adding more years to your life, but about adding more life to your years. More energy, more vitality, more health. So let me just start with a question. What if you could live to be 100? It's a number we all hear, right? Kind of the gold standard for a long life, a milestone a lot of us think about. But here's the real kicker. What's the point of hitting 100 if the last 10, 20 years are spent feeling terrible? The goal isn't just about the number. It's about having a long, healthy, awesome life. And that's where we need to make a really important distinction. Okay, so let's break this down. On the left, you've got lifespan. Simple enough, right? That's just the total number of candles on your birthday cakes. But on the right, that's the real prize. That's your health span. Those are the years you're living in good health, feeling good, able to do the things you love, free from all that chronic stuff that can really drag you down. And our mission today is to show you how to make those two lines, lifespan and health span, look as similar as possible.
So how in the world do we build this amazing health span? Well, we've organized it all into 4 fundamental pillars. Think of this as the blueprint. We're going to cover how to move and eat, how to handle your inner world, the science of how your body renews itself, and finally, how to use your environment to your advantage.
All right, let's jump right into pillar number 1, move and eat for life. These are the 2 things we do every single day, and they are, without a doubt, the bedrock for everything else. You know, this quote from Dan Buettner, the guy who studied the blue zones, just completely turns our modern idea of exercise upside down. When he went to these parts of the world with the healthiest 100-year-olds, he didn't find them crushing it at the gym. He found something way more profound and a lot simpler. See, their secret is that their exercise isn't an event they schedule for an hour. It's just life. It's constant, natural movement that's baked into their entire day. They're out in the garden. They walk to their friend's house. They're kneading dough by hand. Their environment naturally nudges them to move all the time, keeping their metabolism fired up. So how can we bring that wisdom into our modern lives? Well, a great way to think about it is that you're training for the centenarian decathlon. I'm serious. You're training today for the physical tasks you want to be able to do when you're 95. And it really comes down to 4 key things. First, stability, so you don't fall. Second, strength. Your muscle is like a retirement account for your health. Third, aerobic efficiency. That's your all-day gas tank. And finally, peak fitness. That's your ability to go all out when you need to, like running for a bus. And you really don't have to become an elite athlete to see the benefits. Get this, just 75 minutes of brisk walking a week, that's a little over 10 minutes a day, is linked to an extra 1.8 years of life expectancy. It just goes to show you, consistency absolutely crushes intensity. Okay, so movement is half the equation for this first pillar. Let's talk about the other half, food. And once again, the blue zones show us a pattern that is shockingly simple and consistent. Just look at this plate. About 95% of what they eat comes from plants. Meat isn't the main event. It's a celebration food, something they eat maybe a handful of times a month.
And what's so fascinating is how different these diets look, even though they follow the same principle. In Okinawa, it's tofu and green tea. In Sardinia, it's chickpeas and goat cheese. In Costa Rica, it's beans and squash. But you see the common thread, right? It's all real, whole foods. And pretty much all of them are built on a foundation of beans and legumes.
Okay, moving on to our second pillar. Because your physical health is so deeply tied to your mental, emotional, and social health, this is all about mastering that inner landscape. What's going on in your head and in your heart?
In Okinawa, they have this beautiful word for it, ikigai. It literally translates to a reason to get up in the morning. It's your purpose. It's that magical spot where what you love, what you're good at, and what the world actually needs all come together. And this is not just some feel-good concept. It's a powerful biological driver.
And the impact is just staggering. Studies have shown that people with a strong sense of purpose live, on average, 7 years longer. Think about that for a second. 7 extra years of life, just from having a clear reason to wake up. Your mindset can be as potent as any pill you could take.
And here's another thing. Health is a team sport. The people in these blue zones are woven into these really tight-knit social fabrics. They have the right tribe, friends that actually encourage healthy habits. They put their families first, and they have a deep sense of belonging. This is just incredible. Research shows that being part of a community can add anywhere from 4 to 14 years to your life. 14!
Now, these people don't live in some stress-free paradise. They deal with the same stuff we do. The critical difference is they have daily, automatic rituals to shed that stress. A nap, happy hour with friends, prayer. These little routines act as a shield against the chronic inflammation that stress causes, which is a key driver of aging. Now it's time for Pillar 3. Here, we're going to peek behind the curtain at the incredible, invisible work your body does every single night. This is the science of renewal, and this is where so much of the magic really happens.
You know, we tend to think of sleep as just turning off for the night, but that could not be more wrong. Sleep isn't passive rest. It is active, essential work. You can think of it like this. As soon as you fall asleep, your brain's dedicated cleaning crew clocks in for their shift.
And a major part of that cleanup job is done by the glymphatic system. Imagine a power washer for your brain that only turns on when you're in deep sleep. It flushes out all the metabolic junk that builds up while you're awake, including those toxic proteins linked to diseases like Alzheimer's. So when you skimp on sleep, you're literally letting the trash pile up in your head.
And this is where it all connects back to Pillar 2. Chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, which damages your cells. It also speeds up the shortening of your telomeres. Those are the little protective caps on the ends of your DNA. The shorter they get, the faster you age. But, and this is the amazing part, practices like meditation can boost an enzyme called telomerase, which is like a repair crew for those very same caps, helping to slow aging at the cellular level.
Okay, on to our final pillar. And this one's a bit counterintuitive, but it's super powerful. We're going to talk about how not all stress is bad. In fact, we can strategically use short bursts of stress to make our bodies stronger and more resilient from the inside out. The scientific name for this is hormesis. It's basically the "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger" principle. By exposing your body to a little bit of a manageable stressor, you trigger this huge cascade of protective responses that actually leave your cells healthier and tougher than they were before.
And here are 2 of the most accessible ways to do this: heat and cold. Regular sauna use has been shown to reduce your risk of dying from any cause by a whopping 40%. It does this by activating these things called heat shock proteins that go around repairing your cells. On the other end of the thermometer, cold exposure, like a cold plunge or even just a cold shower, can fire up your metabolism and is one of the most powerful ways to reduce inflammation.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the science is crystal clear. Your genes are not your destiny. They account for maybe 20% of your longevity. The other 80%, that's up to you. It's your lifestyle, your choices, your environment. Your biology isn't a fixed set of instructions. It's a dynamic conversation that you get to have every single day. So the real question is, what small choice are you going to make today to start changing that conversation?
If you found this video helpful, Please subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can bring you better content. See you tomorrow with a new video.